better than ever. And I know right now that I'm going somewhere and I need some cheddar. Oh, baby, better not go.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Andre Luck here with my next episode of the Sports Sales Show, where this week I'm going to have a carryover from last week where I'm actually going to flip it from a leader perspective as it relates to onboarding. So last week I talked about using AI as a rep for onboarding, but now as a leader, how can you use that to accelerate your onboarding. So some of it may be a crossover, but an extension or continuation of what we talked about last week. So in this next series, we're going to shift from how reps can use AI to generate revenue to now how leaders can. So over the next couple episodes, I'll talk through onboarding. I'll talk through making sure that you can run effective one-on-ones and keeping a memory of those conversations and leveraging AI to do that. How we could talk about forecasting and do a better job of forecasting deals, and you can better project so you're not having to guess all the time. And how you can also just clone yourself so the reps can go to that and go to this like leader GPT you create to ask any questions versus always having to go to you and you have to be the person answering questions. I had people in and out my door all the time. Now you can clone yourself, take all that data from your head and put that into a agent, a GPT, and reps could go there first before going to the leader for questions. So excited to dive into this. I think this will be really effective for a lot of leaders out there. So let's kick it off. So we'll talk about onboarding from this perspective. So how you can use AI as a leader to speed up your onboarding. So some of this, like I said, will be a crossover, but just to kind of recap, we talked about how last week, typically like when I would do onboarding sessions, it would take me 2 weeks to build out the content, 2 weeks to do the training, and you could speed that up and probably cut that in half and get people up and selling quicker. And instead of having to take 90 days to get people to selling and producing, maybe closer to like 30, 45 days at the most. So these episodes here, they'll be quick kind of hitters, so maybe shorter than our typical episode. And I'll do some screen shares here in a little bit, but that's really the goal is how do you shrink the time that it takes reps to start making sales. So the best use cases as a leader, one, like I said, get everything out of your head. So maybe you have to lock yourself in a room for a couple days and just get all the things that you know they need to go through, all the things that you know are important to them, what good looks like, and just get that all documented. Then you build an agent that you can use to help create content, and then also that they could use too to help accelerate their learning, and using AI to do that. And this a GPT or an assistant, depending on what AI tool you use, that they can use and go to, and you can share with your team so they can speed up their onboarding, but then also get the information they need in real time without having to always go to you or flip through their manual playbook with the 3-ring binder. I know we all love those and love the hard copy, but that takes a lot of time to go through it. It doesn't have all the information that you're going to need, and you can't go back and forth with it. Like what's there, like it's static. Like that's all the information we have for now. With AI, you can go back and forth, and it can give you kind of a high level, but you can dive deeper into it and make it more specific. So the things that you would put into this agent, you'd put like your ideal customer profile. So who is it that you work with? Who is it that you sell to? Where do you guys win the most? Like where does your team get the most wins? Where do you lose the most amount of deals? And you'll just program it with all of this different insights. So different messaging that you use. So all the stuff that's like in a playbook or like an onboarding training document, like I would take all that and probably even just upload it into AI and start to just work one by one on like what's most important, what to keep, what to take out, what would you adjust, your pricing information as much as you're comfortable sharing that, like everything that they're going to need to go through on a day-to-day basis, the discovery questions that they'd ask on an appointment, B2C and B2B. I know I talk a lot about B2B, but a lot of new reps stepping into the industry, they're going to call out of fans and season ticket holders and past season ticket holders. What's the arena tour route or the stadium tour route? Like load all that into it. Is there a certain sales methodology you follow? Is there a certain, we say this, or we make sure we do this at this point of the conversation? Just anything you could think of, and you create what we call a custom GPT or an agent or an assistant, and I'll screen share here how to do that and how I built it and even test it out so you can see the responses that you get back and how this could help your reps if you're in a leader role, or just how you can see how this works for any type of onboarding. This is a lot going to be towards sales, but you can replicate this across a lot of different industries. I was listening to a podcast today and they said, yes, there's like sales and go-to-market use cases right now, but really where you start to see the future going is more, construction, farming, trucking, like AI starting to take over in those aspects too, and not necessarily take over from like taking jobs, but like help speed and accelerate those industries as well. So it's going to be just commonplace. I think the more we get comfortable with it and the more we get used to it, the better we'll have success sooner. So they talked a lot about like the different advancements in technology that we've seen over the past 10, 20 years. So in like the early 2000s, no one could picture what the iPhone would look like and what Instagram would look like, but those are just like commonplace now, and this is what they predict is going to be the same. So you're just starting to get into it. But going back to to the AI and to the GPT that you create, so those are all different use cases. So pretty much everything that's in like your onboarding document, your playbook that you'd have, upload that all into a GPT. And you can go back and forth with it if you need to get answers real quick, or you can give it to your reps and they can go through it. But the real success metrics you're going to look for is how quickly can they set their first meeting. So it's real cool. You get all the reps in the room and they make calls, and the people get to book their first meeting. So hopefully you're doing that more frequently. And they're ringing the gong or the bell when they set them book their first meeting. That was always fun. So you should have a lot of gong rings, a lot of bell rings going on when you're using AI to help speed that up. So quicker first meetings and multiple meetings set, quicker opportunities getting deeper into the stage. So reps will set a ton of meetings when they start out, and they're typically not quality because they're just kind of going through the process. They don't really know like the questions to ask and how to get to the right people, and so a lot of these don't end up going anywhere. But if we have a more quality training and more quality production that's coming out of it, coming out of training, they should get people deeper in the deal quicker. And then we would measure at the end of like the first 90 days, all right, before AI, here was like our average conversion rate in the first 90 days of a new rep, and then take the average of this new group that you just hired that, hey, you've had them using AI from the get-go, and you could start to see the differences. And it should, I feel pretty confident, even not going through this fully, like that the people that are using AI should have a higher conversion rate than those that didn't, because not that the content wasn't good, it just takes a long time. It's just manual. So although it might be quality, you can't do that fast enough that you could within AI. So again, the thing I always say with this is make sure that you do that quality assurance first, and like you take the time to put the right information in, give it the right data, give it all your best practices, because AI is great at accelerating information. But if it's weak information, poor information, garbage information, then that's what you're going to get out. But if it's super quality information, you're going to really speed up quality results and quality output. So what I'm going to do is screen share. And so the good thing now with AI is you don't have to create the agent yourself. Like you could go, like I'll use Journey, or you could use a Chat GPT or Copilot, Gemini, whatever one it is that you use, and help build out the agent instructions, or the assistant for you, and tell it, hey, here's what I'm looking for. Ask me questions, or here's my documents. I want to create an agent based on these documents, and it could help you kind of give you a first draft, and you kind of tweak it and adjust it until you get to the point. So just for time's sake, I had ChatGPT create kind of a dummy agent for me that we could use for the demo. So let me share my screen here. All right. So this is the screen to create a custom GPT. I'm going to go back a step. So if you were in just Chat GPT, you come here to explore GPTs. So I got a couple here on the side, and I'm going to go to my GPTs, and you can create a custom GPT. I already built one, so demo AI onboarding GPT. I did this a little bit ago. So I created instructions. So I used Fort Lauderdale United as an example, one of my clients here, that I'm doing onboarding for new hires. And so what I asked AI to do, or ChatGPT to do, was create custom instructions based on this. And again, for speed, I just had to come up with it. It was a much longer instructions that it gave me, but it also gave me a version, like a condensed version that could put into instructions. But the more detailed you can make this, you can even upload knowledge docs that you can reference to give more information. So that's at least how you create it. And then so you could share this with people so they can use it as well. So I've provided a couple examples that we could do for the demo here. So let me pull this up. So I trained it on everything you need to know for like a onboarding a new rep, and just to accelerate that process. So we got a couple examples that either I could use or rep could use. So this one, build a 30, 60, 90 onboarding plan for a new business development rep at Fort Lauderdale United. Focus on pipeline creation, discovery, skills, buyer persona. So I'm going to copy that. All right. So let's go here. All right. So you see here, it gave me 30, 60, 90 onboarding plan, core KPIs by day 90. So number of new prospect conversations, meetings booked. And this would be, assuming that I created all this. So week 1, here's where I need to be. Week 2, so very detailed onboarding. And that could go back and forth and adjust this, where if it's just in a training manual, it'd be a little more static. All right, so I'm going to give another example here. All right. Oh, it's still going, so I'm going to give it a second. I'll just stop it there. All right, so another example. What should a new rep know about selling to a VP of marketing at a local mid-sized business? Give me common priorities, discovery questions, messaging angles, and mistakes to avoid. All right, so this is assuming it was trained on everything that I would teach it about in our market, selling to a VP of marketing, local mid-sized businesses, VP of marketing, common priorities. So if a rep, even a new rep, was going into a meeting or looking to reach out to a VP of marketing, now they have a very good starting point, discovery questions, everything like that. All right, we'll do one more just so you can see. And again, these are questions that you probably don't even get to in onboarding, or if you're, a manager hiring a bunch of new reps or onboarding a bunch of new reps, because you just say, hey, make calls and book meetings and go through the process. So this one, a new rep has their first meeting with the local HR leader, help me prepare an agenda, 7 discovery questions, likely objections, and a confident opening. So I remember, someone booked their first meeting and they want to come talk to me about it. So I have to block time on my calendar, I have to go back and forth, ask questions, where are we at? What are we looking to do? Make sure you cover this, or find a rep to go with them and help them prep. And that's taking 30 minutes to an hour of everyone's time, where we've done this. I've been screen sharing for 4 minutes and you already have a ton that you could go with. And they can feel confident going into this meeting, or at least they have a starting point. So then when we do meet, instead of a 30-minute meeting, it can be a 5 or 10-minute meeting. And again, you're just getting time back. It's way more quality than I would have been able to give it. Yes, I've gone on meetings and I talked to HR leaders, but there's no way I would be able to give this much depth and context to a rep, especially a brand new rep starting out. So I think a part of it too is humbling ourselves. Yes, we know a lot, we have experience, and then I could take this and then put my own spin on it or touch or things that are relevant based on the role. But this is way better than anything that I could have given or would give. So I think we just need to accept that this is going to help us and lean into it. And the teams that are and the managers that are, they're going to see a ton of success quicker. But again, like I talked about earlier from the podcast I listened to, everyone's going to be here in the next 3 to 5 years, just a matter of time to get there. So the sooner you can get to it, the better. So that's a way for onboarding. Actually, with Fort Lauderdale United, bringing on a couple new reps here to help with that process. And I'm going to use AI for the onboarding, for them to use AI, for me to use AI, and just speed up the process and everything like that to allow us to be more productive coming out the gate, but then also just save time on what it would take to build out a plan and onboarding, and then give them an agent based on best practices and things that I learned and things that I've seen throughout my career, so that they have a resource they could go to at all times, and not feel they have to rely solely on me. They can be empowered to go out and drive business starting out, and then I can come in over the top, and if there's additional context needed or just help in certain situations and scenarios, I've kind of replicated myself and what our onboarding looks like, that they could go to at any point, asynchronously, ad hoc, when they need it. So yeah, that's how you can use AI for onboarding and just to speed up the process. So again, every episode I talk about things that stood out to me. One recently I heard on a podcast was, I forget who it was, so I'm not even going to try and reflect on that. But they had talked about how it's very difficult to find good talent for sponsorship sales roles. That's one of the biggest challenges teams are facing as relates to sponsorship sales. And I could see that because I think the allure of working in sports and specifically in sales and finding high quality talent is just more difficult. And as expectations go up and there's just less of a talent pool to choose from, it's going to be very difficult to get people that can generate revenue at a high level, aside from people who've been in the industry for a really long time. So there's kind of this gap. Maybe COVID was part of it. Maybe there's just other jobs that are more attractive or more teams. I'd have to really do a deep dive into it, but it's definitely something I'm seeing as well. Like high level producers that could drive $6-7 million deals, 6-7 figure deals, $1 million deals. There's just not as much quality out there, or as much volume. There's definitely a few that could go do it, but we need to do. I don't know what the solve is or what the answer is, but it's definitely something that stood out to me and something that I'll work with as I work with teams to figure out how do we solve that. AI could obviously help, going back to onboarding and how managers are developing people, and how there's more of a focus now on revenue generation and premium sales and sponsorship sales versus just fans and closing deals with individuals and season tickets and mini plans. Like a lot of that's transactional now. So we got to shift with the times and make sure we're preparing reps for what the future looks like, not what it was 5-10 years ago when we were selling. Also, shout out. So caught up with a couple teams I've been working with over the past couple months. The Atlanta Braves, I did a session with them a couple months ago, and so we're starting to do some pull through work with them and follow ups. But they took a lot of this stuff we've talked about from an AI perspective and really leaned into it, like applied it across their service team, applied it with their inside sales team, their new business development team, the Pittsburgh Penguins as well. They're ones that, we've done different prompts and exercises, and then they've taken it to another level and tweaked it and adjusted it and continue to use it even in between our sessions. That's how you get that practice, that consistency. A lot of teams we talk to, or not a lot, some teams that we talk to, it's a great kind of, oh, this is cool, this is great, but they don't actually apply it. So it's cool to see some teams and some reps that are really leaning into it. And again, they're just going to be further ahead when other people get on board. So it's been great to see. So yeah, in closing, use AI for onboarding. It'll speed it up like we did in 5 minutes or less of screen sharing. What would have taken me a couple hours to do with the rep if they had actually these scenarios that come up. And that's assuming that I'm available. So they'd have to find me, make sure I'm available, book time on my calendar, or take me away from what it is that I'm doing, or I have to take them away from what they're doing. And now all that, it just took a little time to build an agent on the front end and they can go to right away, and then come with me if there's like more clarity or context that they need. But next week we'll talk about, as you're managing a staff, whether it's 1 rep or 30 reps, how do you keep up with all the conversations? Like it's very difficult to remember a conversation we had yesterday, let alone a couple weeks ago. And what do we commit to? What are the things that they need to stay on top of? So we'll talk through what that looks like and how you can use AI to help you with that and have that memory and kind of brain on every single one of your reps so that you're best prepared and you can set them up for success for their next meeting. But as always, like if you like this episode, go ahead and hit the like button, share this with someone in your network if you think this is valuable to them or a resource that they could use. Subscribe if you want to get updated as new episodes come out every week. And like I tell my daughters every morning when I drop them off for school, go be awesome today. And I'll be back next week with another video.
That's nothing. I'ma be doing this and I'm gonna be head hunting. Oh, baby, don't know. Oh, baby, don't go. Oh, baby, don't know. Oh, baby, don't go.